We're talking about the heart today, but I'm telling you what supports, the working of the heart, and that is the mind. All right. So for you to be able to watch and preserve your mind, you're saying you want to make sure that it is protected, it is fed, and it is allowed to express. Okay. So when you're looking at your mind, you're asking, how are you nourishing your mind? How do you nourish your mind? And how do you protect your mind? Because some of us, we are intentional to protect our minds, but we are not intentional to nourish our minds. We're not going out of our way to make sure that our minds are nourished. So on one side, like I said, you're looking at your mind and saying that my mind is where my thoughts come from. And the things that drive the way you think about something, it's usually based on what you know or what you've heard over and over, even if you've not really believed in it, maybe because you've not really had that experience. So most times your experience will be the foundation of the way you think about something. So it's like saying that growing up, this was one that I would say has been in my space for a bit. Growing up, most of the couples that I knew, the husband is older, right? So to you, even though you are not married, you just assume that that's the way it is, because you've seen it consistently enough to believe that that's the way it should work. Okay, so that now becomes like a belief in your mind, right? And then there's a way you feel about it. So anytime something different from that comes into your space, you feel uncomfortable. And that's the way the heart works. So when anything that you don't really believe in, or anything that you're not convinced about comes into your space, you feel uncomfortable. And that's why I was saying that you need to check how your heart is, to ask how comfortable or uncomfortable are you when you're in a situation that you need to make a decision to thrive. So my challenge for us today is to ask ourselves, how are we supporting our hearts? How are we guarding our hearts? How are we making sure that our hearts are nourished?